Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. So today we are continuing our Survive Pertam, the Wastelands, and we are going to create a drilling system for Cobalt. Alright, so today, as promised from the last episode, we said we were going to create a drilling system that's a bit awkward for the Cobalt collection. So first off, we probably need to fill up our welding rig here with the necessary parts. So let's go ahead and do that first. So I would imagine that we need a bunch of metal grids for storage, a bunch of steel plates, bunch of cargo, construction components, interior turrets, interior plates. Likely don't need girders, but we'll tack some on just in case. Bulletproof glass, likely not. I know maybe displays here and there. And a whole bunch of computers as well. Steel tubes, these are common. And large steel tubes, another common thing to need or have for builds. And of course some steel plates here, probably lots of it. We can use some power cells as well for battery power and maybe even turbines. Actually, we probably do need girders because of turbines. So let's just add what we have anyways. Almost forgot some motors, so definitely need some of that. We'll just throw some more of that in there. And I think we should be good, hopefully. Hopefully should be set so I don't have to come back and throw in some more stuff. But you never know. It's likely that I probably would have to come back, but just in case, I'll just throw some more stuff in here. And it looks like I don't have a lot of large steel tubes. Huh. A decent amount, not a lot. So we should be good. It should be fine, to be honest. Okay, so we can grab this guy and kind of move on out of here and go to the Cobalt section for that deposit. And I've been trying to mess with it briefly, the whole arm here, where it has a little bit of a bounce when I'm swinging this thing here. Honestly, I just played around with everything I could. All these hinges, I played around with torque and braking. I put on max for both, and pistons as well, max for the torque and everything like that. Shared inertia for everything as well. It kind of reduced the wiggling a little bit, but not by much. So hopefully that's not going to cause a problem down the line. But it should be okay for the most part. So we can finally unlock this guy, drive it out of here. Hopefully it can go down without crashing. Cool. That worked out pretty well. Again, this is not the prettiest crane system I made so far. It's it really doesn't look that great, to be honest, but it should look. It's okay. It's functional. That's all that really matters to me. And honestly, I should probably either dismantle that guy over there or bring it with me so I can build upwards as I'm building this mining system for the Cobalt. But I think I'm just gonna use scaffolding. I usually find it to be a lot quicker to use scaffolding than actually using that system where I have to keep moving it back and forth, up and down and everything like that. So it does become a big pain in the butt when I use that little boom lift or cherry picker, whatever it's called. I forget already. And I gotta be careful when I'm driving because I almost just flipped over right there too. Alright, so I'm not sure how far the Cobalt is on the ground here, but we can park here and take a quick look as long as I have a drill, which I don't, which is an issue. Why I did not bring my drill is always a weird one. But this should be an ore deposit here. Looks like a small little hump of it. So we can build our drilling system starting from right around here. I want to make it not too far, but a decent length away, where we're going to do a kind of circle drill for this here. So if we build it here, we want to make it up to here. So let's see what that length is really. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I want to find the middle of it, so it might be 12, 13, 14 here. I don't know. It's a little hard to see this ore deposit from afar. I guess 14 or 13 will do it. We'll leave that there for now, so it gives us a bit of a place marker. And we definitely want to have maybe a battery, some turbine. We'll probably stick with the turbine for now. But I think we definitely want to put in a cargo container here. And we're likely gonna use a large cargo container here. Looks like it needs interior plates. So why would we use a large container? Is because we're gonna be collecting a whole bunch of stone while we get to the cobalt. Unfortunately, I don't know how far the cobalt is, just as is. So I hope it's not too deep, but we should be able to make it with a few pistons. So we're gonna throw this guy here. I probably want to extend it out. Well, we're actually pretty far out. No, we're fine. So, okay, so let's throw this one on top here. On the last bit that I can, right there. And it's likely we need one or two, maybe even more, to be honest. I think more would be more beneficial, but I think I have just enough for it, so we should be okay. And I don't know why I grabbed all the parts for the cargo container when I'm actually just trying to build it out and have this thing welded up later on anyway. So let's grab our steel plate for ourselves. We could grab some construction component interior plates just in case I need to build other things. Okay, so we have that set up. We want to build upwards a bit, and that's going to be with drills. Then once we have the drills going, not drills, pistons going up, we can set it to go upwards, and then we can have it go downwards. So let's see if I can build ourselves a little bit of a system here first. So it's always a bit of a pain playing with no jetpack, because we always got to build some scaffolding or use the boom arm or the cherry lift to get our height that we want. So I mean, it's fun with this to struggle, but it's a bit much sometimes. Alright, so we are gonna do a piston here, and we can do one or two. I think two would be pretty decent in height. It'll be, yeah, it will be pretty up there. So if we did two, we definitely need to add these things here. And it is storming, and I hope I don't get shocked by that lightning, because that thing really hurts, and it pretty much just one-shots me for the most part. And if that does happen, I'm gonna have to walk my sorry butt back. But it's okay for now, hopefully. Alright, so we built it upwards here. And what I want to also do from there is kind of stretch it out some more. So, oh, looks like the storm's passed in terms of the lightning at least. But we still got to deal with this wind, or whatever this really is called. Alright, so I'm going to build across a bit more. Oh, there goes the lightning. Alright, so I made it back. Eventually. Took multiple tries, and it looks like the lightning shocked the color out of me. So yeah, I just became the default red Space Engineer skin after respawning several times, actually, because the lightning, every time I ran back, the lightning decided to strike me multiple times and pretty much killed me. That was a bit of an issue, but waited out the weather, and we're back here at the drilling rig portion of it. So let's just get back to work. All right, so here we on top, we want to stretch it forward, and we can use conveyor junctions, or we can go cheap and use some conveyor tubes. I think we're going to use conveyor tubes for the cheaper option. Alright, so we're gonna keep building the scaffolding out a bit. And yeah, eventually I may end up kind of dying a few times from falling. I hope that's not going to happen, but it might happen. This whole jumping and placing blocks actually reminds me a little bit of my time with Minecraft. Not ideal, but it kind of works out. A little slow in the process to do this, but it does work in that sense. All right, so yeah, I mean, your potential chance of falling is pretty high. Probably should have just built it sideways to give me that extra push that I need. Anyways, again, we're just gonna continue on with building out the tubes here. So some straight conveyor tubes here. How many got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do 10 maybe. I think that's the middle, but it's hard to tell. Maybe not. Maybe just do 11 for the sake of it. That was like 14. I'm short 3, so I should be right on this side here. Right down here. That doesn't seem to be the middle at all, to be honest. So maybe we do need to go a little bit further. So let's just take care of that. Let's not be too lazy with it, at least. Let's go. All right, perfect. Let's go maybe one short of what we have in the bottom. So we'll build it out here, and then we'll curve it down here. Okay, so that's that. I should have made a bit of a scaffolding on the side actually, so I can get to that a little bit easier. Probably have. Let me just take all these mishaps away. And I need to start building down, so that's where I should have just built some kind of scaffolding system here, which would be easier to do if I was up there. I can probably do it this way. Yeah, I can do it this way. It's not too bad. Oop, can't do that. Slant forward. It actually is pretty awkward seeing myself with the red default skin. I've been playing around with the prisoner skin for a very long time, so it does get kind of weird to be honest. I'm looking at the default skin. Yeah, I could have changed it, but got a little lazy because it kept on walking back, dying, walking back. That was just not fun, so didn't want to waste the time, and just decided to walk back with the regular suit here. But should be fine for the most case. Alright, so this is where it gets kind of tricky. So I want to do an odd system, and when I say an odd system, that's just basically going to be a one drill system to save some mats, although we have a decent amount of mats. But just for the sake of it, I wanted to give it a shot and see how that works. So the next piece that I need here is either then we need a piston here, not a rotor first. So we add a piston here so that it goes downwards, and what we need is a rotor underneath it. So looks like we're a little too high right now, so we'll just bring this guy down. Actually, bring this down even more and build across. I wish it could be easier than this, but it's not for whatever reasons. But I still think it's faster doing this than using the other crane. Alright, so here is where we're going to put an advanced rotor. If it fits. Should. There we go. And underneath that, we're going to do... damn, we got to get a little lower again. But this is always a pain in the butt. What if we just lower it by 2? So we can just go this way for now. I think it'll be easier to maintain as we're a little lower, so we can build upwards that way. So alright, so okay, perfect. So here we got the advanced rotor. Now we can tube it up again. So we can tube it up a bit of a length. So we want to go this way, this way, this way. 1, 2, 3, and do 4. We can curve it down this way. Alright, so that's curved down that way. And from here, we can do another piston. And we could do several pistons depending on how low we are. And I think we're not too low just yet, so that should be okay. We can throw a piston here. Actually, you know what? I'm running out of room here, so we're gonna scratch this piston. You know what? It's all wrong because we actually don't have enough pistons. We need to bring these pistons up so that we can build down with our pistons. So that's actually incorrect. So I do need this piston here. And we could add several more pistons down here if we wanted to. But we can wait a little bit, or should we not? Probably, you know what? Yeah, let's just do it this way. I'm gonna eliminate this piston. It's gonna look kind of weird, but should be okay. So we eliminate that piston, we put an advanced rotor here. And from there, we want to put more tubing. And that tubing will be this guy here. We'll do this tubing. We can do it this way. Or any other way, it's fine. So we're gonna put it, if we put it this way, then we just need to add 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We probably want to go down. And here is where we can add more pistons downwards. And the concept here is to kind of extend the circular mining of this system. So it should use it uses one big diameter, and this would be the middle where the radius is on this side and this side. So the radius of, let's say, 3 tubes, and this one again is 3 tubes. So it should cover a larger surface area and create a big old circle, and it should cover everything, hopefully. Conceptually, I think that's how it works. I'm not the biggest brain here. Well, I'm not a real engineer, so this should, in theory, not even in theory, just by looking at it, it should work out as long as I do the timing correctly for everything here, which I probably won't do correctly, but we'll see what happens. So we do need power because we need to weld up these two guys here, these two pistons, and have it run and bring it up actually. So we need to put some turbines. Let's just do turbines. Turbines would be a lot easier to use for the time being, but we gotta find a space for it. So we can potentially put it here as height is available with what we have now. So we can throw it up here. Let's just say there. Here's my turbine. Here we go. You can throw a turbine up here. I think 1 might be enough, but maybe not. Maybe I should just throw on the side. On the 2 sides. That way we have a little bit more room for additional turbines. Actually, this is terrible. Okay, knock these 2 out. Okay, there you go. So we put a turbine on this side and the opposite side, so that at least we have the height, and then we have multiple turbines. So we have 2 turbines running instead of 1. And if we wanted to, we can add a 3rd one. Probably not there. but let's just say over there. Right over here. So now we have 3. So our welder here should be able to reach this, hopefully. And we should be able to power it up from there. So let's just get rid of our scaffolding that we do not need. Don't think we need... Okay, we don't need this stuff here. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is all scaffolding, so we don't need that. We'll just let that drop, it's fine. Not a big deal. It's just a little bit of steel plates in some ways, so it's not going to break anything. And we don't need... Yeah, we don't need all that. And this and this. Okay, we're good. And just to, for the purpose of stability, we'll add that there. And the rest of this can go as well. So we'll just take care of this. And the reason why I'm doing that is so we have more room for our welder to weld these things up without kind of destroying everything. Alright, so we'll just get rid of these guys. And we should get ready to weld this all up with our welder. And hopefully it goes pretty well. Hopefully. Alright, we are all set. So it's like a butter churning type of system. And basically it's 4 wide, counting from the curves. The curved conveyor tubes. It's 4 wide that way and another 4 wide. So it pretty much gives us 8 wide. Or 7 wide actually, because the one in the center is not going to really count as 2. It's going to count as 1. So if we stretch it out exactly, then we have starting from that curve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 length. So it should create a 7 radius circle, and of course 14 in total diameter. And it should cover all this area here, which is hopefully all the cobalt. Fortunately, I don't know the specific setup for this, meaning the timing for everything. So I'm gonna have to kind of wing it. I would think the rotor, the first rotor, I'm not even sure which is which. I gotta figure that out. So let's just say 1 RPM for this guy. So that is the top one. Let's just say top here. And this is probably the bottom one. Okay. The bottom one is probably gonna be going negative. So let's just say the top one, if all goes well, the top one we can say 10 maybe. Pretty fast. And the bottom one, let's just times it by 2. But going the opposite way, so that's 20. So it's gonna look like that, and hopefully that covers the whole entire area of the circle. Actually, it looks like just going back and forth, not really doing what I wanted to do. So it does look like it needs to have somewhat of a specific number. Maybe instead of 20, because it's just doubling up. So let's say somewhere in between it all. Say 15, and maybe that will work out okay. So then it kind of covers all its distance or all the area that we need it to. It really doesn't look like it is. There's got to be a special number for that. Because right now it looks like it's doing okay, but I don't think it's gonna create this big old circle for us. It maybe it's just going too fast. So the top one. Actually, I think the top one should be a lot slower. The bottom one should be faster. So let's just reverse that. So this one, we can leave at... let's just do 5 for this one. The bottom one's where we want to go fast. Let's just say maybe leave it as 15. Yeah, that looks okay. That's not too bad. Actually, we'll do the top one as 4. I like number 4 on here. With the rotating systems or rotors. I usually use 4 when it's spinning. And then the bottom one, we could double it up instead of 15. Well, we could say 8, but maybe do 10 as a safer bet. And I think this way, it's not that bad. I kind of say let's just do faster. The faster is always going to be an issue because there's a chance it's going to smack the flooring and break the drill if we bring out pistons down way too fast. So that's always an issue. So I'm just gonna do, let's just say times 3, which is 12, since the other one's at 4. So 12 should be pretty quick in terms of that. And here is what we want to do is turn on the drill system. And we can start bringing the pistons down. So most of these are down pistons here. And we could do one piston at a time. Or we could do all pistons at once, but do it on a really slow basis. And when I say really slow, I mean a velocity of maybe 0.0001 or something similar to that. In this case, let's just try that because it is 4 times that really in terms of speed. Hopefully that's correct. And then we'll just drop it this way. So the other issue now is that we're likely going to collect too much stone, and we need to find a way to extract all that stone into a cargo container or into a mobile cargo. We might not have enough space for all the stone before we hit the cobalt, I think. So that might be an issue as well. But the 0.0001 speed for piston is quite slow, so hopefully it goes pretty well. So we can kind of leave here and come back to look at this. And then once we're done with that, we can bring these guys down at a really slow rate also. And go even deeper if we need to. But I think we're collecting a decent amount of stone. It's not going to be too much and not very quickly, but I just want to give this a shot because I did see it in the workshop at one point. And I just wanted to kind of mimic it. And unfortunately, I don't remember where it is in the workshop or what the name of it was called. But press the person who designed it and put it in the workshop that inspired me to kind of recreate it or kind of make it work in a similar fashion. So thank you for that. But yeah, it's going to be a slow process, to be honest. So everything's shared inertia, everything's good. Okay, so we don't have another wind turbine on the other side. We can get that going if we want to, but we'll leave it for now. I don't know how long, honestly, I really don't know how long this is going to take, and I hope it doesn't break off of this mountain piece here. So yeah, is 0.001 even doing anything? Alright, so 0.001 on the down pistons. 0.0001. It is super slow where it doesn't even seem like it's extending at all. But that's probably the safer bet anyways. So we can always leave it as that and come back to it eventually. And hopefully nothing breaks. So we'll leave that running. It should have enough power to run all this. And we should see a 7 or 14 diameter wide circle here. Hopefully. That's the idea. So we'll pretty much revisit this, and hopefully the cobalt has been pretty much taken. If anything, I should come back with a drill, get some cobalt to fix up the other cargo container just in case. I might be able to produce some metal grids actually. I think I still had some cobalt previously, but can't confirm that until I get back. So we'll leave this guy doing his thing and we'll come back to it. So it's not too far from the base, which is good because I could always drive back and check on it if necessary, and then eventually grab what I need from it. So hopefully it doesn't fill up with stone before it reaches the cobalt, but there is a chance of that happening. So we definitely need to turn the croc into a collector, and collect all that stuff from it. And I kind of don't want to make a connector to a connector kind of system. I want to kind of do what I did previously, do a dropper with the collecting or collector instead of a connector, if that's not confusing enough. So we can have that kind of up and running. And I think if I have time, I'm gonna try my best to recreate the old crane because I don't really like the look of this guy. It's a little bit weird looking, but yeah, it's working out. It's just I don't know. I could barely keep staring at it because it doesn't look that great. I don't make the most beautiful or great looking vehicles or ships, but that one is one of my worst ones, I think, to be honest. Right, so next thing after getting all the materials from there, we have a few things to do. I do want to make a really small rover in terms of travel, and actually get pretty top speed like we did with our kind of like RC car, but we ran out of batteries. So we'll figure something out, and then we'll come back to this rover here once we have a little bit more materials. This is going to be kind of a large small grid rover, so it's going to take some time here to build it. And if you kind of look at it a little bit, it's starting to look like a rover or a vehicle in another game. So feel free to leave a comment below to kind of guess what this rover is going to look like. Right, so yeah, so the next thing is I'm going to build a small rover in the next video so we can go exploring. There is a Lancaster abandoned settlement right around here somewhere. I think it's across the crevice, so we can cross that over there if we need to. And if anything, we could rebuild the motorcycle. The motorcycle is definitely a really cool vehicle and a fast vehicle. So, I don't know. That can wait. I really want to create like a really small rover with 4 wheels that is well balanced and can hit top speed without any issues. So we're going to go and do a little testing for that later on. But our cobalt should be doing pretty well. From afar, you can see it, so it's not too bad. But at least we got that accomplished. It took some time to build it. So it's a 1 drill churning butter type of system. And I would hope it creates that full 7 or 14 diameter circle in that ore deposit. But we'll see what happens. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is that it's just going to break and it's just going to do nothing for the whole entire time. So we pretty much will start building stuff so then that can start collecting, because we're not in a rush for metal grids for the most part, but we should try to get some more metal grids as soon as possible so we can create more cargo containers and other stuff that requires metal grids. I don't think we have cobalt actually, so actually can we make some? We can. Okay, so maybe I'll make the required amounts. I think it was 24. Can I carry 24? I can carry 26. Well, 26 the max. I can carry a decent amount. Okay, so let me run back and fill up or weld up the cargo container over there, so that we can have 2 cargo to fill up as much as possible. Alright, so once again, it is a little weird seeing me in a red default suit, because I've been playing around with the prisoner suit for the longest time in the world. But of course, if you got up to this part of the video, please hit that thumbs up, like the video. If you haven't done so yet, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. Also hit that notification bell to be alerted of upcoming videos. Comments are always appreciated, so feel free to drop one down below. And of course, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.